Hello and welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm Road to BlizzCon July North American Open. Guys, we have a great series, a great best of three underway, and I just wanted to update you guys on the bracket really fast. It does seem like we do have our first round of 8 participant. It will be Tempo Storm, who quickly went through the bracket. Yeah, hello! So we're going to have Tempo Storm there. The next one will probably be, or will be, the winner of Kappa Wolves versus Pool Play-Doh Some Tangos. We saw Pool Play-Doh in the round of 8 last time, so we'll see if Kappa Wolves can knock them out before that point. And then from there, we're still a couple of rounds away. This is the round of 32, so even whomever loses here will still walk away with some prize money.
Absolutely, and these teams really, really want a piece of that. We have the PLEYZ versus Gaming Team Gaming going on. We had Game 1 go to the PLEYZ, and now Gaming Team Gaming is looking for revenge. They're already in the draft, Gilly.
They are, and we'll hop over to it. It looks like Gaming Team Gaming are first pick and first ban. We've got Johanna being banned here, so I think that's a great move if they're not wanting to deal with that Azmodan again. They've taken out one of the tools that you pair with that Azmodan in order to be able to pick up those stacks on that Taste for Blood from the Globe of Annihilation. Similarly, we're going to have the PLEYZ once again banning Zeratul, but look, we've got Team Dwarf on the PLEYZ.
Yay, look at those matching beards. They're so cute.
Braided beards abound in here. And we've got Muradin and the Vikings. Now, Anna, the Vikings received a significant rework on the last patch. So I'm really excited to see how the PLEYZ are going to put them to use, because it's been a long time since I've seen them competitively since the last patch.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I've seen a game at all since the last patch. So I'm interested to see how they're going to use them. Of course, we know that one of the strengths, if not the biggest strengths of the Vikings, is being able to be in multiple lanes at once in order to soak experience around the map. And of course, they can be great for other reasons, holding points that need to be held and such. They're also maybe going to be useful here for picking up small seed cans, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, also, you can place one of them in the Garden Terror and still have the other 2 in lane as well. So passively getting that experience gain. And one thing to note is the lanes on Garden of Terror are pretty far apart. So trying to rotate through and stop those Vikings from sitting in lanes could be difficult for Gaming Team Gaming, who are going to pick up a pretty strong comp here so far. Jaina, Sylvanas, and Tyrande.
Man, those 3 heroes together just doing their thing can do so much. I mean, Gaming Team Gaming, you just can't have any more heroes, and you can just do it with that. I mean, I joke. But honestly, like you said, there's so much synergy between those 3, so much strength on each of those 3 on their own, that whatever Gaming Team Gaming get for a second support, if they do, and a warrior, they're going to be pretty happy, I would say. They're not going to have Malfurion. Interesting that the PLEYZ would ban him out. I think that I like that ban, because I think I would like Malfurion with these 3 ladies so far. But Gaming Team Gaming goes ahead and bans Kael'thas. So they're identifying that so far with Muradin and Vikings, there's not a lot of damage on the PLEYZ. They already have Jaina. They banned Kael'thas. Those are kind of 2 of the biggest range damage dealers, and Zeratul's also off the table. So we're likely to see someone like Vala, maybe Tychus, maybe Falstad. We need someone to do the heavy lifting in terms of damage over here on the PLEYZ.
I'm sorry, but it must be Falstad for the dwarf potential. It just has to
Good
be.
call. Good call.
I mean, he's not actually a bad choice either. There are some places where you can get a really good Hinterland Blast based on the terrain of this map. And besides that, he has that global map presence, which is going to be very nice. He can fly all over the place and very quickly, and that would come in really handy as this battleground is rather large. But the players for now are going to choose to grab Rhaegar, a pretty standard support you see with the Lost Vikings. We'll see what they grab here for their last one.
Yeah, I really think they need some damage, although they may feel like Gaming Team Gaming has already picked up enough damage that they're not too worried about being picked out of the pool. Although I wouldn't feel safe with that, with how aggressive Gaming Team Gaming has been. I think Vala is a great pick there. I know you were hoping for the Falstad, but I think they need someone who can go closer to toe-to-toe with Jaina and what she can do. I think Vala is a great pick there.
Yeah, and she really fits in with Team Red, as we're seeing from the PLEYZ. But they still have one more choice, and they'll be able to really counter whatever Gaming Team Gaming grabs here. Gaming Team Gaming have to grab now a warrior and most likely another support. Tyrande can solo support if you've got... I think generally you see that more with like a double warrior, which is something they like to run, but I don't know that that's what they're looking to do here, and it's still pretty iffy whether they want to do that. And no, they will grab Uther, which is going to be really great. They've got stuns for days. They were able to deny the Tyrande from the PLEYZ, so they don't have that Tyrande Muradin comp, which is scary. What do you think we'll see in this last one? Who do you think their warrior will be?
Well, I think they need a warrior that can do some damage as well, that can contribute that way. I would have loved to see Johanna there, but she's banned out.
I would have too.
Yeah, but Uther can take a fair amount of damage, as we've mentioned before, so you don't need somebody that's like the super, super tanky necessarily.
Wow.
And I was going to say, I wonder if they were going to do this. They're going to go for the no warrior composition. They're going to instead opt for more damage from Illidan, and they are probably going to make him their tank, Gilly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh,
All
Gilly.
right, so usually when you see the no warrior comp, you're seeing it with a Tassadar so that you have extra shields. So they're not going to have that, but Tyrande can pick up protective shield. She can spec into a lot of heals. In fact, I think we'll definitely see overflowing light at 13 to help out with her Light of Elune. So more heals from that. Especially because Uther, while he does provide a lot of good burst heals, he has long cooldowns. So the PLEYZ have decided that the answer to this is to grab Nova, have a super bursty, great for flanking hero who can maybe get around to the side and take down Jaina or Sylvanas, maybe even Tyrande before they can really mitigate that and try to push her off of them.
What an interesting lineup. I wonder if the PLEYZ were always planning on that Nova, or if that's a direct response to the fact that they're now dealing with a no-tank composition and an Illidan.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if it seems to be at least a little bit reactive. I know they probably wanted to get another damage dealer anyway, but the beauty of having that last pick is you can be really reactive, and I think so that's at least partially that. I'm really interested to see what they decide to do about the Vikings. They do have a lot of AoE potential from Jaina, which will be nice. But, and I guess the Starfall as well, but I think I was expecting, I think they would have liked to have Johanna in this situation because she can pick up things like Burning Rage and then the Blessed Hammer later on that do damage in an area around her, so she can just kind of stay next to them.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. I mean, Illidan certainly does enough damage, but Johanna can just survive anything. She just does not die. And Illidan, for the squishy that he is, can get a fair amount of sustain from his team. But I think PLEYZ, well, it's weird that Gaming Team Gaming banned her out, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think they were just so concerned with stopping the Johanna Azmodan that maybe now they're like, well, maybe we would have liked Johanna.
Yeah.
We miss you.
Goodbye, next time.
But at least they do have a very tanky support in Uther.
Yes.
So they've got that. If they can make Illidan super tanky with lots of shields, protective shields, and of course he will definitely be picking up Metamorphosis, that will help as well. Divine Shield on top of that from Uther. I think the idea will be to just try to get him to sustain as long as possible and take out the backline of the PLEYZ. But meanwhile, they are going to have to know that Nova will be saying, okay, Illidan can just jump in front, but I'm going to come around and back and take out Jaina and Sylvanas.
Right, which is not a good thing when you are counting on them to deal lots and lots of damage. So we're going into this map, this battleground. It has a mechanic that depends on seeds. Your team's going to want to collect as many seeds as you can. If you manage to collect 100 of them, then you will be rewarded with a Garden Terror that will spawn in your base. It's what we like to call a suit that one of your heroes can put on, and you can wreak havoc on your opponents. There are 90 seeds in camps on the top and 90 on the bottom, so you can't stay to your own side. You've got to venture across the map to get them. That's what we'll see these teams do. Let's go ahead and introduce them, Gilly.
All right, well, in the blue, we have the PLEYZ once again with Pirate Rum on Vala, Lex Uther playing Rhaegar Daihu on Muradin. Nova will be played by Evan Drinde, and playing all three of the Lost Vikings is Zeus.
All three indeed, and we have Gaming Team Gaming in red. Fate will be on Uther, Koto will be on Jaina, Kunryul will play Illidan, Phoenix on Tyrande, and Wraith will play Sylvanas.
All right, well, we have Kunryul on that tank Illidan that we see, and we'll have to see how that's going to turn out. Already he's picking up Shadow Shield at level 1, so that's going to help a bit with his ability to stay alive. Block also for Uther, so really realizing, hey, we deal enough damage, we now just need to survive.
Right. He needs to be able to take a few hits, but he also is dealing some hits right now. We do see a stun go down on Pirate Rum, but stun also on Fate, who has to back off. They're not going to be able to get a takedown either team, as we do have a party lane going on here in the mid.
Interesting pickup here. We do have Viking bribery from the Vikings. There are a ton of mercenary camps on this battleground, so that's going to come in really handy. It's going to enable them to just quickly pick those up as well, and that's going to be really nice. It also goes off of them being in lane. They get the stacks depending on if they can kill minions, so it's going to be really important for Gaming Team Gaming to try to push those Vikings out of lane whenever they can.
Absolutely, and we do have Zeus in the bottom lane, as well as the top lane. Eric and Balog will be up here in the top and Olaf down in the bottom for now, which means that the rest of the team can kind of play around in the middle and rotate from top to bottom if they so choose.
That is exactly what they're choosing. They've caught Kunryul trying to get some of these seeds. He's going to immediately drop that evasion, trying to get out. And a good Blizzard is going to zone out the rest of the members. Evan Drinde getting very low, will get taken out. Now it looks like Daihu is going to be stunned. Will he be able to get away? Dwarf tosses out, but no! The owl is so good. Sentinel is going to take him out. A 2-for-0 engagement here. Kunryul even going after Lex Uther a little bit. It's looking pretty strong here at the beginning for Gaming Team Gaming.
Certainly is, and we will see the seed count continue to rise. We now have 20 for Gaming Team Gaming. It's continuing to go up, but both teams have places where they can take these safe seeds. It's going to be about who takes first these large garden shamblers. Kunryul is already working on one up in the top.
Yes, he is, and he's kind of doing it all by himself. Once you get 4, once you pick up Immolation as a talent for Illidan, he really becomes a merking god. He can go take merc camps all by himself, and that is evident even with this Shambler. Now, we do have Koto who's going to come in and help, but this is great for Gaming Team Gaming as they're really getting ahead in seeds. But on bottom, the PLEYZ have done the same, and it looks like we might be seeing them trade just about. Actually, I think we're going to have just barely not a Garden Terror.
Yeah, it looks like Gaming Team Gaming managed to steal just a few seeds from the opposite side of the map. And that means that they'll only need 4 before their Garden Terror spawns next seed phase. However, the PLEYZ are also not far from their Garden Terror, and that means that we might see even Gaming Team Gaming stall theirs a little bit so that they aren't they don't have to wait to get taken out by a fresher, more longer lasting double mint gum type of Garden Terror on behalf of the PLEYZ.
Look at what their Gaming Team Gaming is able to do too. They're basically only using Illidan to merc, and that means that they have more people able to stay in lane. In fact, Sylvanas hasn't even left lane really, and they've had to use multiple members of the PLEYZ to be able to merc. So we're seeing a little bit of an experience advantage for Gaming Team Gaming based off of their ability to stay in lane and also the takedowns that they've gotten so far. But it's pretty negligible. Both teams should have level 7 for the next phase.
Absolutely. And we do see 2.5 takedowns on behalf of Gaming Team Gaming to the 0 of the PLEYZ. Although at this point in the game, that's not going to give them, like you said, that huge of a bump. They're only about maybe a third of a level ahead in terms of experience.
A good push up here on top for Gaming Team Gaming. This tower is out of ammo. Unfortunately, Tyrande has been taken down, so that's going to help the PLEYZ get back in experience just a little bit. Evan constantly on the lookout for more takedowns. She also has that gathering power too, so if he can start getting a lot of hero takedowns without dying himself, he's going to start having a ton of ability power and going to be doing tons of damage with those abilities.
Absolutely. We have Siege Giants now pushing in the bottom alongside Sylvanas, and that is a great use for her. She can protect them and use them to do their full amount of damage by keeping the structures from firing on them. Kunriul is there also making sure that nobody else bothers her in terms of Lex Luthor on Rhaegar and Zeus here on Olaf, one of the Vikings.
Evan Drinde gets stunned, and Nova is down for the count. A great clairvoyance from Uther helping to reveal, and I love that talent pickup from Uther, being able to do that. Now, on top of that, Gaming Team Gaming have taken out the fort on bottom. They're getting ahead in structures, they're getting ahead in experience as well.
This might be the answer to the play that we've seen from the PLEYZ, this very quick and very confident, aggressive play that now has Gaming Team Gaming almost to level 10. They will get their heroics before the PLEYZ, and it will nicely coincide with this next seed phase that is upcoming.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Looking at, I mentioned interesting talents. We've got the clairvoyance from Uther. He also picked up amplified healing, so realizing that they really need to make sure that they can stay alive through fights. Even picking up frost armor from Jaina because of that too, and Thrill of Battle from Illidan, which is also not one we super see a lot, so he's going to be having a lot of cooldown reduction from basic attacks, which is something that really boosts his trait, Betrayer's Thirst. So they're going to have a lot of ability for sustainability, also a ton of damage that they'll be putting out too.
For Gaming Team Gaming, we do have heroic abilities. They're going to be Divine Shield, Summon Water Elemental, Metamorphosis, Starfall, and Wailing Arrow, and we just got that 10 coming up as well for the PLEYZ. So we're going to see Precision Strike from Nova, Avatar, Strafe, Play Again from the Vikings, and Ancestral Healing.
All right, so we're seeing that play again. This is the second time you and I have gotten to cast this. We know what's up. We know the idea is just to keep those Vikings in lane as much as possible and just continue to get experience up where they can. And we're seeing them just hang out in lane as long as possible. But so far, they've been kind of on the back foot for experience. Now, as we see in Gaming Team Gaming leaving lane more to go pick up objectives, maybe steal a Merc Camp or two from their opponents, that could change as we will see those Vikings just making sure to always be soaking up experience for their team.
I looked down at Gaming Team Gaming's seed count and I was like, 86? Didn't they just have 96? What happened? They already have a Garden Terror, and it's already all the way down the mid lane, wreaking havoc. Phoenix is inside of it. And like we were saying, we're seeing that very speedy, fast, decisive play. And they now have 101 seeds left over. So once they're done with this Garden Terror, they have a whole nother one in the bank.
Wow, that's amazing. And Zeus is in the other Garden Terror for the PLEYZ. But that does mean that you're having to control a Garden Terror and two other Vikings, and because of that, Koto and Uther from their team Fate were able to go up and quickly take out one of the Vikings. So now there's no soak happening for the PLEYZ, and that's great for Gaming Team Gaming, as they want to make sure they're maintaining their experience lead where they can.
They have 4 members of their team, the PLEYZ, pursuing Phoenix, who went up here to the top lane looking for a place to fight. Zeus is now taking the Garden Terror to the mid lane to try and do some damage to Gaming Team Gaming, but is quickly going to turn around, actually. Not going to stick around to do too much damage.
Yeah, Phoenix definitely took more damage on that Garden Terror than Zeus has so far, but remember that Phoenix will get another try at the Garden Terror even once it's done, although it may not be on Phoenix, as he's going to be surrounded by multiple members, though dropping the Starfall will at least deal some damage, slow some heroes down, and may make it so that his team can catch up. They're all trying to rotate up now. Fate is there. Wraith is trying to chase as well. Will not be able to take anyone down, but they do push heroes off of that fort.
One thing to note is that the mercenary camps are largely yellow on the map right now. These teams have been too engaged with other things like the battleground objectives until now to pay attention to those. So we will see the teams sniff around at those camps, but Gaming Team Gaming's not going to pick one up. It looks like instead they know they have their Garden Terror growing. They're going to go ahead and put Phoenix inside it again. They are, in fact, going to grab the siege camp down here at the bottom, and I would wager that they're looking to put their Garden Terror either down there along with them or split pushing so that they can take some of the attention off of it.
Because mercenary camps go away once a Garden Terror is picked up. Both of these teams kind of realized where the other was at, but not going to try to contest at all. In fact, we've seen Gaming Team Gaming trying to stop these Vikings. I mentioned that before the PLEYZ were down in experience. You can see now that they are ahead. So having those Vikings constantly keep respawning, constantly moving back in lane to get experience is starting to work out in their favor. They're starting to get a little bit ahead here. So Phoenix needs to make something happen with this Garden Terror. Unfortunately, there's a lot of members here trying to stop it. So I think Gaming Team Gaming need to group up with it. Yes, they're trying to soak up experience, but they've also got to try to make something work with these Garden Terrors.
I think we're seeing a lot of respect that almost translates into timidity with these Garden Terrors. They're not going quite as YOLO as we often see the Garden Terrors do, which is probably smart, but it also means that, like you said, they're not doing as much damage as they might have liked.
Well, now we're finally seeing a little bit of a split push. This is something you can do with Sylvanas on your team. It's really nice, is have the Garden Terror push one lane, kind of distract people while you push another one with Sylvanas. It looks like while they were starting to do that, instead they're going to move up and they're going to try to help out their Garden Terror, who is still alive, but falling pretty rapidly. So whether we're going to see them try to set up a takedown, it looks like they will. Daihu is going to Dwarf Toss away, but the Water Elemental is going to slow it down, start taking him out. He will go down thanks to a great Starfall, and now it looks like we could see Gaming Team Gaming move in toward this fort. Yes, they will do so.
The seeds are up, though, so they are going to have to make quick work of that and go back for the seeds, as Evan Drinde is sniffing around looking to grab some of those and steal from the opposing team.
Looks like a little bribe from the Vikings means that Kunriel has to deal with these giants on top, in addition to trying to get some seeds. So because Gaming Team Gaming had 2 Garden Terrors last game, they're actually a little bit behind in terms of seeds, but I like this plan. They have level 16 talents. Their opponents do not. Their opponents have to leave these seeds, and that means they did get a Garden Terror, but it might be possible to see one on the side of Gaming Team Gaming as well.
It's just like my dogs. They have a bone, but they want the one that the other team has. So they went and grabbed that one instead. Evan Drinde is going to go sniffing around theirs, and the rest of the plays are going to go up there, but it won't be long before Gaming Team Gaming is there to contest that one as well. We do have a Garden Terror growing for the PLEYZ. Only 25 seeds needed before Gaming Team Gaming could get one of their own. It looks like they're not willing to commit right now to grabbing that one in the top of the map.
I'm surprised they didn't go up here and get seeds, because now they're not going to be able to get a Garden Terror. But if they can deal with this one pretty quickly and not take too much damage from it, then they should both get one next time. However, it does look like we are going to see a split push happening for the PLEYZ. They're going to go up top, going to be able to pick off that fort pretty quickly, and meanwhile the Terror will push in toward the mid. So trying to just deal with this push as quickly as possible. Their opponents have caught up in experience, so they really can't let them get any more structures.
In the meantime, Gaming Team Gaming has a push going on with Sylvanas, Illidan, and Uther down here in the bottom lane. And of course, like we mentioned, Sylvanas can make great use of her structural abilities to make sure that Kunriel can do lots of damage without getting hit by the structures. That's going to be a mean split push on their behalf as well, or a split defend, if you will.
This is a really interesting push here. I'm super surprised by this, but it's totally working. They lost a fort but gained a keep. That's a trade I think anyone would make. They just now need to protect their keeps. So for now, we're seeing Zeus start to push in toward the mid. They've pushed off the rest of the members of the PLEYZ. Now they just need to get rid of this Garden Terror. Pretty good decision making here coming out of Gaming Team Gaming.
Eric came out of that Garden Terror and said, "Hey, and was dead."
Was sad.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately for Gaming Team Gaming, they won't get much of a rest from Eric, as with play again, probably right back up. But they are at least going to be able to pick up some mercenary camps. We're seeing both teams try to merc up here. Neither really wants to try to engage until maybe they can get an advantage with level 20. And they both really want to make sure that they are fresh and healthy for the next seed phase, as both teams are pretty close to being able to get another terror.
I think you're so right about the keep versus fort trade, and I think that shows a high level of understanding of the game, that sometimes you need to pay with your own structures in order to take down your opponent's structures. There's now an open lane into the base of the PLEYZ, and that also means that catapults are going to be a constant issue, pushing against the bottom lane on behalf of Gaming Team Gaming toward the PLEYZ. PLEYZ also stealing the siege camp up here in the top.
Well, we didn't have the plays going, or we didn't have Gaming Team Gaming choosing to engage there. They had Sylvanas clear in the bottom lane, so they decided that they would just hurry and take down the Giants instead, which should be no big deal for Kunriel. As we mentioned before, he does a ton of damage and will take them out in no time. But it does mean a little bit of time where they're not really getting a good lane push as much. It does push them back a little bit.
Yeah, interesting that we're seeing a little bit of timidity now from Gaming Team Gaming when they came out of the gate swinging so hard. They are going to just clean things up. They're really worried about their base being taken down as much as they have taken down their opponents. And now the seed phase will just kidding. It will start soon in 15 seconds.
Well, looking at some of these builds that have been developing so far as we get ready for the seed phase, we do have the Hollow Decoy build for Nova, super standard that we see for competitive Novas. We'll see her most likely pick up Rewind, which means that there will be a ton of Novas on the board and make it very confusing for her opponents. It looks like Clairvoyance is down. Kunriel is on the chase on Nova as she was revealed from it, but not going to be able to get taken down. But Gaming Team Gaming once again being pretty aggressive around these seeds. They've picked up a few. It looks like they're going to start moving up and maybe try to contest the ones that the PLEYZ are going after. But they've got to be careful. Their opponents are nearly 20. So instead, Kunriel laning, very important, trying to catch back up and get those Storm talents at the same time as their opponents.
Very much so, and they're very, very close, but they know that they can't lose out on all of these seeds again. They learned their lesson last time. They're going to engage over this Garden Terror. Both have Garden Terrors available to be taken in their base, so they've got to make sure they go back and grab those as well. Looks like one of the Vikings, Eric, will jump again into the Garden Terror for the PLEYZ. Nobody yet being sent back to grab it for Gaming Team Gaming. Would not be surprised if we see Phoenix take it again. Looks like Zeus with one of the Vikings, Baylog, is way out of position, does get taken down very quickly by Phoenix, who is now going to back and will be able to take control of the Garden Terror. We already have Zeus charging down the mid lane with the Garden Terror for the PLEYZ.
Kunriel is going to move in and maybe try to take somebody down. Wraith going to throw out the Shadow Dagger, which with that Cold Embrace will make enemies more vulnerable. But instead it looks like they don't want to engage here. Kunriel, oh my gosh, so close, but will be able to get back. Looks like we might see Gaming Team Gaming choosing to use their Terror defensively, at least for a bit. Now that the rest of the team is back, though, they're going after it, and very quickly. They do not want to lose their keep here, and I don't think they're going to. They did a great job of taking that out so fast, especially thanks to the Ranger's Mark, the Hunter's Mark from Tyrande.
We now see the Garden Terror for Gaming Team Gaming charging down the top lane, so looking to open that lane up, not even just pressing on the lane that they already had open. It's going to take some of the attention off of the mid or bottom lanes and put it into the top lane on behalf of the PLEYZ. So Gaming Team Gaming now charging down the mid lane will be able to take that fort down no problem along with the tower, and they're going to go up against that mid wall.
Yeah, the split push is huge. We mentioned how fast Wraith can help that split push with the Black Arrow. That is her trait, stopping those structures from being able to attack, and they nearly take down a tower in front of that. We may see them move around. I think they want to go after more of these Vikings. These poor Vikings have really been the object of the attacks from Gaming Team Gaming constantly throughout, which is a really great by them. They definitely need to keep them out of lane. It's a little bit less of an issue now in terms of experience because they're at the same level, but it's still nice to be able to make sure that lanes are pushed in their advantage instead of letting the Vikings just continually push lanes back and back towards Gaming Team Gaming's base.
Absolutely. We saw the Garden Terror Phoenix getting very, very low all by her little lonesome over there, but the rest of the team came and joined, and that means that Phoenix had a few more hits to deal out before now exploding. Now we have 5 members of Gaming Team Gaming continuing to push now in the mid lane. Where is the 4th? All right, the Vikings are out in the top and bottom lanes, while only Pirate Roam, Daihu, and Lex Uthar are now left to defend here in the middle.
It looks like Gaming Team Gaming really want to grab a pick here, but I think the PLEYZ are kind of wanting to do the same. It's funny that they're all congregated around this one Merc camp when there's so many, but Kunriel is going to be able to cap those Giants, not getting engaged upon by the PLEYZ.
Evan Drinde really looking for just the right opportune moment to take somebody out, but not being able to find one that synergizes well with where his teammates are, I don't think. So he's going to get out of there. That means that the Siege Giants and Bruiser camps that were down here are going to be taken by Gaming Team Gaming on the side of the map of the PLEYZ. That's not something they really wanted to happen.
Something I wanted to mention is that the PLEYZ don't have a full 5 members in these team fights generally, as the Vikings are the ones in lane. So they've had to be really careful about where they engage into. As a straight up team fight, they'll generally lose unless they're ahead in terms of like experience or that type of thing. So they've got to be really careful. Where they excel is having these Vikings continually push lanes for them. So they've even grabbed the sequel at level 20, reducing the Lost Vikings death timer by 50%. So they're really trying to make sure they always have the lanes pushed using those Vikings. But so far, Gaming Team Gaming has done a great job of dealing with that. They still have the lanes moderately pushed for them. Bottom lane is great now that it has catapults. And it looks like we're going to have a pause.
Maybe having some connection issues, but to talk about what you were saying with the Vikings, it's interesting when they have that reduced death timer, and now that they're past level 22, where the experience gain that comes from a takedown doesn't matter quite as much, it seems like the PLEYZ are kind of using the Vikings almost as they would a mercenary, allowing them to go way too far forward in the lanes and, like we just saw, be taken out. But because their takedowns don't count quite as much as a normal hero, they're not as worried about kind of sacrificing them for the job of pushing those lanes. So I think, like you said, it's definitely a thoughtful strategy.
Yeah, and it's something that's really nice for them too, because if they can keep a lane pushed for them, then if they do win some sort of engagement, say they catch some members of Gaming Team Gaming out, then they've already got a lane pushed right up to the keep. They can quickly go and take out the keep, and at this point they might be able to go straight for 4 from there, as we are getting into the very late game. Once again, both teams picking up a Garden Terror. Looks like we will just have one for each team.
Yeah, this has been kind of the name of the game. They have traded fairly evenly when it comes to Garden Terrors. Even when we thought we might see another one coming out of Gaming Team Gaming, they opted not to do it. So a gentleman's agreement, if you will, on these Garden Terrors. We already have the one from the PLEYZ charging up the top lane. They will take care of those mercenaries that are already pushing, but it looks like the mid lane is again the favorite for Gaming Team Gaming.
Yeah, they've taken out one keep. They want another one. They're going to be going straight in toward the mid. They may even try to go with all members this time and instead of trying to do a split push. And the realization from the PLEYZ is, hey, we're behind in structures. We need to use this terror to defend. So they've brought Zeus's terror back. They're going to have a Rack'em Sock'em robots battle between these plants, punching each other in the face. Phoenix trying to loop around and get a good plant pots to start taking down some of these towers.
Zeus in the Garden Terror is a little far forward. Gaming Team Gaming looking to take advantage of that, but wasn't quite able to. Phoenix is going to go back to rejoin them to make sure that the Garden Terror itself is not wasted. And so far, neither of these Garden Terrors have accomplished what they really want to at this point in the game, which is doing damage to structures.
Yeah, but pausing this largely favors Gaming Team Gaming at this point, as long as they don't lose heroes, because they've got such a good minion push happening in both mid and bottom. We've once again got catapults moving in toward the bottom. There goes the precision strike, not really going to hit very many members of Gaming Team Gaming who are going in for the engagement. Kunriel is on the hunt, trying to take down Evan Drinde. Will start to evasion back a little bit, did get slowed down, is getting caught by some of the members of the PLEYZ, but the rest of his team is in and ready to follow. Jaina is going to do a bunch of damage with that upgraded Blizzard with Snowstorm, but Koto now out of position will get taken out, and this has been the first time in a while the PLEYZ have been able to make something happen in these team fights.
Poor Jaina was there ice blocked, being like, you can't hurt me, and then, team? They were gone. There's not a lot Jaina can do against that many heroes. So yeah, like you said, the PLEYZ managing to get something done. They will take out that very important damage dealer. Phoenix, though, as the Garden Terror visits that middle lane just to put a little extra damage. Only Evan Drinde is there in order to contest. Phoenix is going to pop out of that Garden Terror any second now, and is going to have to try to get away from Evan Drinde.
Yeah, that could be a little bit difficult, but does get mounted up and should be able to do so now. A fort or keep is down for the first time in favor of the PLEYZ this game, but Kunriel is on the chase. They really want to try to take out some members here. Unfortunately, with Phoenix gone and maybe taken out here as the rotation is coming in, Divine Shield is going to go down to save Phoenix, and Fate is getting very, very low on that. Uther does have the redemption if he goes down, though. Metamorphosis drops in, is going to be able to take out one of the Vikings. Daihu is going to try to get away. Look, we've got play again happening, and all of the Vikings are back in action, going to try to distract some of the attention of these damage dealers. Precision Strike goes down, not going to do too much, but does zone members of Gaming Team Gaming further back.
That Precision Strike had the opportunity to do a lot of damage because the plays were very grouped up, but just hasn't had the timing right so far in this game, I don't think.
No, it's been used really effectively as zoning. It just hasn't quite taken people out to the effect that they would like. And now, multiple Vikings are down. Rhaegar was taken down right before he could heal himself. Muradin is also down. And Gaming Team Gaming, with a keep already down, is going to take another one. They're going after Evandrin. Do they really want to get another one to help secure that they can take out the court? They will do so, and they're going for core.
Wow. They're going to be able to focus all of their damage there. Pirate Rum and Zeus are the only ones to defend. And that's only a little Viking and Vala. Pirate Rum getting very low. She's going to have to run back probably into her base in order to heal up a little bit. Now 3 Vikings and an Archeress. Will they be able to defend? Fate does go down. Uther goes down. Jaina goes down. It's only Kunriel who's supposed to be the tank and is also a damage dealer and is whipping his wings around. The core is so low and he is so able to escape. He is going to manage to win the game all by himself. So, wow, the carry from Illidan is real. He had the job of the tank for the team and still managed to take out the core all by his buff, chiseled lonesome.
Yeah, it really came down to everyone kind of distracting, and they took everyone out, but Illidan is so tough to take down around that core. He can just jump around. We saw him just continually jump around as much as he possibly could. They didn't really have any stuns to like keep him in place, so all they could do was just deal as much damage as they could, and it just was not quite enough. Kunriel, MVP of that game.
Absolutely. Really cool compositions, and nice to see our first 1-1 of the day, Gilly.
It is indeed. It must be the Gaming Team Gaming blessing for us to get close matches. Something we always love to see. And we will get a Game 3 in this series. So I'm really looking forward to that. Any predictions on maybe the battleground we'll see in the next one?
Oh, I don't know. Battlefield of Eternity?
That is a good, solid choice. It's a big possibility. I think it's probably going to be that or Cursed Hollow. Mm-hmm. Maybe Tomb of the Spider Queen, but I get the feeling that if Gaming Team Gaming gets to pick the battleground, I don't think they're going to want to do that versus the Azmodan that they had to deal with Game 1. So I think it'll just come down to who gets to pick it and who's going to get first pick.
I think so too, and I'm excited to get into this Game 3, Gilly.
I am as well. We'll take a break. When we come back, Game 3 in this series. See you guys soon.